We all know that creating a strong brand identity is super important, but unfortunately, it's no longer enough. You also need to keep that strong brand identity that you created super consistent. So it doesn't matter if your customers are browsing your website or your social media or they're receiving an email from you. All key visual elements need to be super coherent. And for many businesses, keeping a consistent brand identity is often way more challenging than simply just building a strong brand. Consistency is not easy. That's the case in many areas of life, right? But it really pays off because according to Forbes, key visual elements like fonts and colors alone can increase your brand recognition up to 80%. So how do successful businesses make sure that their brand identity is always super consistent and super coherent across all their touch points with their customers? They use BrandKit, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how much it will improve and simplify your workflow, your content creation process, and maybe most important of all, your teamwork. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and let's get into the video. Why is consistent brand identity so important and why do so many businesses still struggle with it? Let me give you a very good example. Notebook. The other day, I wanted to buy a notebook. It's the new year, time to buy notebooks, right? Notebooks, just like many other products, are quite generic, meaning there's going to be thousands and thousands of people out there trying to sell me a notebook. And even if we're talking about products that are more unique or specific, in the era of the internet, there's no such a thing as uniqueness anymore. I dare to say it doesn't matter what you want to buy, there will most likely be people in your area, or in your city, or in your country selling that thing. So what is it that can really make you stand out from your competition? Your brand, your unique brand identity is what makes you special. A strong brand identity can help create trust between you and your customers. It can make you easier to recognize, and it also makes you way more memorable. And you cannot buy something that you don't remember of, right? Going back to my example with a notebook. When I thought about buying a new notebook, you know what was the first brand, the first business that came to my mind? Intelligent Change. And I have never ever bought anything from them. But the only reason why I immediately thought of them is because their brand identity is so on point, so coherent, so consistent. They have been popping up on my Instagram feed for years. And every time I see their posts, I know exactly that it's them. It takes me like split second because their key visual elements are always the same. Same fonts, same colors, their logo is always placed at the very same spot. And when you see the same thing again and again, you remember it. And that's why when I thought about Notebook, I immediately went to their Instagram page, brand identity, exactly the same, so on point, I made the purchase. Okay, so if a strong brand and consistent key visual elements are so crucial, why so many, especially small to medium-sized businesses, still really struggle with it? Well, that is because when you start a business, you're super passionate, you're ready to go, you sit down, you brainstorm, you create that strong brand identity, you invest lots of money most likely to create a beautiful logo, unless you use Photoroom, but more about that later. Everything is done and beautiful. And then what happens? As your brand grows, as your team grows, and new team members are joining the team. So most of the time mistakes happen because you just hired that new designer and the new designer digged out an old email with your brand assets, your marketing assets, or an old Notion page, or things got messed up and boom, you've got a wrong logo or wrong color. How do you avoid this? As I said earlier, BrandKit. Okay. Now I've been talking about that BrandKit thing for a while. If you don't know what a BrandKit is, a BrandKit is essentially a toolkit that allows you to store all your key visual elements like logos, fonts, graphics. It really depends on your business in one place. It's kind of like storage room for your brand identity. And the best thing about BrandKit, at least Photoroom's BrandKit, is that everyone has access to that storage room. Everyone has key to that storage room. So when you create that solid BrandKit, every single member of your team can have access to it, and that eliminates any confusion, any miscommunication, because everyone on your team involved in creating or presenting brand materials has always access to it. Everyone can see the same thing. So it can really significantly improve your content creation process. So thanks to a brand kit, you simplified teamwork, you improve creative workflow, and you save up tons of time on content creation. And also, most important of all, you make sure that every time you interact with your customers, whether it is through a poster on the street, on your website, through a blog post, or an email, your brand identity stays consistent. And now, enough talking about how great a brand kit actually is. Let me show you a brand kit. Let me show you a place that not many people have seen before. My own personal Photoroom brand kit. Yes, at Photoroom, we use our own brand kit as well. We are a remote team. I work from Paris, but lots of people work from all over Europe. So whenever our design team is at the office or they're somewhere else, I no longer have to bother them with my emails or my slacking like, hey, Maddie B, our head of design, what is our color palette? No, it's right there on my brand kit. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. On the very top, you see logo, and you may be thinking, Kaya, do you really need a reminder? What's the logo of your company? Well, logos change, logos evolve over time. Just look at Instagram or Apple. It's very common, especially for startups, that you do slight adjustments to your logos over time. It actually happened to me when I just started working at Photoroom. I created this thumbnail and I used a wrong logo. I used an old version of our logo. I mean, if you just look at it, you might not be able to see right away, but if you zoom in, yeah, wrong logo. Imagine. Now it's not going to happen because I have a logo right there. Moving on to colors. Colors are super important because colors evoke emotion. Close your eyes. Maybe I'm not going to close them. That's going to be weird. Now say Starbucks, McDonald's. What do you see? Because when I do this, I see a color, and for a lot of people, it works like that. We associate certain color with certain brands. Good brand identity will include many color palettes. As you can see at Photoroom, we use 3 different color palettes. The main color palette with our main purple, dark blue colors that you see across all our communication. So at Photoroom, we use purple as one of our main colors. It's not just purple, it's actually, wait, because I don't really remember. Moon Grape 626EFFF. I mean, would you remember? No, I don't think so. So that's why it's better to have it written down there on your brand kit. Oh, and an important thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that the best thing about Photoroom's brand kit is that it's not only a storage room for your brand identity. You can use your brand kit as you make your designs on Photoroom. I will show you exactly how later in the video. So it's not like every time I want to use our color, I need to go back to the brand kit. No, it happens as I make my design. Okay, moving on to fonts. Pretty self-explanatory. I have our fonts, save up, then cutouts. This one might seem a bit weird because when you look at my brand kit, it's all like cutouts of myself sitting by a computer showing you that I work. I have a computer. But this will really depend on your brand and your team. What do you do? So I make YouTube videos. So a lot of the times I need these graphics. And the thing about Photoroom's brand kit is that you can share it with multiple team members, right? So let's say that I'm not here and our social media manager, Steph, is making a graphic, an Instagram story to let people know that we posted a new YouTube video. Thanks to brand kit, whenever she's making the design on Photoroom, she accesses the brand kit and uses one of the cutouts of me, or maybe the YouTube button, or like the graphic where we can put a text. And then moving on to text cutouts, same story. For me, it's watch now because I want you to watch my videos now. But for you, it might be the name of your brand or any type of text that you keep reusing again and again. And instead of creating that same thing over and over again, you just have it there. And the final part of Photoroom's brand kit is something that I know many of you will find very exciting: backgrounds. We always get these questions like, I created a nice background on Photoroom. How do I save it? How do I make sure I can keep reusing it again and again? this is how you do it. You save it in your brand kit. So in my brand kit, I do have a couple of backgrounds that I created on Photoroom that I liked. I saved them on my brand kit. So now whenever I need to create a new background for a product, and I need a cool background, instead of creating a new one, I already have like a couple of my trusted backgrounds sitting there in my brand kit. So it basically just simplifies the workflow. It makes it faster and easier. Okay, so now when you saw my beautiful brand kit, let me show you how to create your own, very own brand kit on Photoroom. You start on the create page and you move to your content. On the very bottom of the page in the left corner, you will see brand kit. Tap on the brand kit and let's start creating your very first brand kit on Photoroom. So let's say we're creating a brand kit for a jewelry brand called Luna. The first thing we will want to do is to upload the logo. If you have a logo, you just upload your logo from your camera roll. But if you don't have a logo yet, if you're just starting out, you can create your own logo. On AI logos, you choose AI logo generator. You tap on AI logo and you use prompts to describe the logo that you want to create. So in this case, I'm gonna say, Luna, we sell jewelry, moon logo with gold and stars. For style, I will choose minimalist, but you can of course play with styles and choose whatever you want. And AI will generate a couple of options for you. So we've got our logos. Let's move on to colors. As I told you before, you can have multiple color palettes. It's very common for brands to have a main color palettes and then secondary color palettes. Here again, you can either choose one of the color palettes that we suggest for you if you're just starting out. Also, if you are actually really starting out and you haven't even created your brand identity, stick around until the end of the video because I will share with you more about how to create a great, strong brand identity from scratch. But going back to colors, Photoroom gives you option to be very specific with your colors so you can play with it and see what you like. For Luna, I wanted to have a couple of different shades of blue and gold. Moving on to fonts, you can either choose a font that you already know that you like, or you can browse our very large selection of fonts and see what will suit your style. And now moving on to cutouts, which for me personally are probably the best part about brand kit. They really save a lot of time. You want to create your first cutout. Go back to the create page, choose a picture. In this case, I will choose a picture of a product of Luna's necklace. Photoroom will remove the background from me. I tap on transparent, save template, and now I can save the necklace cutout by tapping on it and just saving it in my brand kit. And then I will do the same process over again for this graphic of flowers because I know that this is something I'll be reusing a lot in my communication on social media. For text cutout, the number one thing that you'll probably want to save there is the name of your brand, for example, and I will do just that. And moving on to backgrounds. How do you create AI background on Photoroom? All you have to do is go back to create, choose a picture from your camera roll. I will choose this beautiful necklace again. Photoroom removes the background for you and all you have to do is tap on AI background and look for something that you like. Keep in mind that whatever you see on Photoroom, you can always customize your background. So in this case, I like the backgrounds that Photoroom suggested, but I wanted to change it a bit. So I adjusted the prompt. I said that I want the fabric to be more silky and I also wanted to change the color to light blue. And this is the result. And once you find AI background that you're happy with, all you have to do is tap on that image, tap on use this template and save in your brand kit. Remember that everything that I just showed you here on Photoroom desktop, you can do it on your computer or on your phone, whatever you prefer. And once you set up your brand kit on your phone or your computer, it shows up on both devices. So your brand kit is ready, but how do you actually use it in your designs? It's super simple. So let's say that Luna just came out with a new product, these earrings, and you want to create a new design. All you have to do is choose your picture and upload it to Photoroom. Photoroom removes the background, then you choose transparent, use this template, and here, and tap on background image, add background, And there you will see your brand kit, and you can just choose one of the backgrounds from your brand kit that you want to use. And then you do the exact same for other elements. Tap on Insert and choose the cutouts from your brand kit that you want to use, or whatever other visual elements you want for this design. What if you're just starting out and you still don't have your brand identity? You need to build your brand identity from scratch. The first thing that you will have to do, the most important thing in the very beginning, is to really brainstorm with a team or yourself or ChatGPT. What does my brand stand for and what does my brand represent? These will be two really useful questions in the beginning of your journey. Then you will move on to step number 2. Study the market. Research your competitors and your audience. You do that to understand what really resonates and how you can differentiate your company from competitors. Step number 3 would be clarifying your brand essence. Why does your brand even exist? And number 4 is define your visual and verbal identity. You need to decide how you want to showcase your essence using language, logos, design elements, colors, images, and many other design elements. It is a pretty complex process, but these steps that I just mentioned are a good starting point. However, if you want more in-depth guidance how to create your brand identity, check out our blog post where we did all the research for you. We tell you step by step how you create a strong brand. And also, we share with you a lot of good examples of strong brands that created super consistent brand identity, beautiful brand kits with all their key visuals on point. And it's always best to learn from the best. Like, for example, Spotify, their brand kit is chef's kiss, basically. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, as always, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you'll be trying to create your own brand kit anytime soon. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.